Welcome to Hardcore Garage. We are back on the 64 Oldsmobile Muff Diver. And the front is all together. We still got leaks in the front. It doesn't leak down fast enough to where I can hear it coming from anywhere. I've soaped the fittings the best that I can and can't find anything. So I am going to start to rebuild everything back here. I've replaced everything up front. I do still have that one line that is an old line, but I took a piece that was from the interior of the car, cut it down. I don't see that being the issue. Has to be something back here is my thought. Plus, it's kind of nasty. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what I'm gonna do anyway. I spent $110 on T-fittings. Half this stuff I don't even know what it's called. It's all plumbing stuff, and I bought all brass. The stuff that's on here is plumbing cast, and it's not very great. It doesn't look very cool. I'm hoping this will clean it up and it'll look a little better, and maybe we'll get rid of the leaks. And this is my second trip. I went to Lowe's the first time, bought all 1/2 inch. For whatever reason in my brain, this stuff was 1/2 inch. I know the lines were 3/8, but I'm thinking, well, they had to have downsized from the line. But no, everything, all of my pet cocks, or I don't know if that's really what you call it, but where the bung maybe that is into the tank, they are all 3/8 as far as I can tell. So I bought all 3/8 stuff. I have screwed a piece into my dump valve there, so I know it's the right stuff. Best I can do right now. So let's flip this camera around and we'll let you guys see what I'm doing. You can see got this cast copper. I'm not even sure what that is there. Cast. I'm going to be able to replace everything on this one side with the newer brass. I'm going to also hopefully mount it up instead of forward. Give me a little more room in here to put stuff. But and it will be changing slightly. Maybe this one here I couldn't find an all thread one in 3/8, so it's going to be the same. T's. See how huge those cast ones are? The 3/8 one's pretty small, so the 1/2 inch ones look the same size, but yeah, obviously they weren't. So yes, the issue that I'm having, and y'all know I'm an amateur, I've said it before, so I'm trying to figure this stuff out, and I get pretty analytical when I do things. I want to know the science behind things, not just how it works, but why and what it takes, and a lot of stuff that sometimes you can't even explain to other people. I have a shutoff that is a 145. My pump is a 450C, which I believe is a 150-pound pump. My tank is 3 gallon with a 200-pound max. It shuts off at 140. It takes, on a full tank, I can get about 90 pounds in the front, which will really, it'll give me enough to move, but it won't give me really enough to not scrape because of the drop off on where my concrete is. I've got 2 marks there now and the wife's not liking it. There's always enough to raise the backs enough that's left. Okay, so what happens is I get that 90 to 95 pounds in the front. The tank has dropped to about 120 at that point and is equalized. It can't shove any more air up into the front bags. I have to use whatever air is left to get it to drop down to 110 to get the pump to kick back on, to pump it up to 140 to give me enough to lift the front. And it's still not lifting it all the way. Those 2,500 bags, I believe, are close to 8 inches of lift, 7.5, something like that, I think. And I'm getting closer to about 6 inches of lift. So I'm pretty sure that I can get more out of them. I just got to be, and they're 600-pound bags, so I'm pretty sure my solution to that was to go ahead and get a 175-pound shutoff switch. So that'll have more, give me approximately 170 pounds in the tank when I first hit the switch. So that should pump me up to above 100, I'm hoping, in the fronts, which is perfect. The way that this is set up, I mean, you can run 125, 100, close to 130 when it's just all it will do. It won't put no more out there. I don't know if it's, again, I think it's because there's not enough pressure in the tank. I could be completely wrong. Everybody seems to have a different answer. I need a bigger tank, more pumps, and I kind of get all that. But I think there's enough there. I honestly think that 3 gallons is enough to lift this thing if it's pressurized enough. And again, that's the cheapest way to go, is to upgrade that shutoff switch. And so I got that ordered from Gauge Magazine, Donnie Bab. That should be here this week, and we will get that on there. But I am going to try to do the rest of this right now and see what happens. This will be my first attempt at screwing with air ride, dumps, pumps, whatever. I'm not really going to touch the pump, but so here we go. I'm hoping I can get this stuff put back together once I take it apart. But first things first is we need to make sure that we get all, if not, or most, if not all of the air out of that tank. So when I do start to undo some of this stuff, it doesn't pop open on me. So I'm going to do that first, and I'm just going to use the switches to do that. All right, I got the tank down fairly well. I'm sure there's still air in it. One thing that is cool that I've seen on some of these, well, just here, you can fill it up with a compressor if you have to, but you got to have a pretty good compressor, or again, you get equalization of pressure. And if you can't get enough, it ain't gonna even lift your shit anyway. But also that I've seen people add a deal to where you can fill your tires off your compressor. That's pretty boss. I think that's got her down good enough. We are down below 10 pounds. Should pop out of there. I like those quick release lines. Here's what's got me worried, and I'm hoping this video shows me what I need to do to get all this stuff back together, is when I start to unhook these. It looks like this one over here, the top wire is yellow. However, this is oriented. It's the side closest to the no label is a yellow wire. I probably should go pull the fuse under the hood before I start messing around back here. Hopefully that'll keep us safe. Oh, that's hardwired in there. Oh no, that's a ground. Okay, that's cool. I can take that wire out. I'm just scared these are going to hit each other for some dumb reason. Okay, same with these down here. Or should I want to try to pull this up? Start to loosen it. Okay, I guess one of them does have a blue line on it, and that is the far one. The one on the side that doesn't have a label has a blue line, and then the one closest to the label is black, which is a ground. And then I got a Phillips head that I need to take off right here, which is the ground for something. I'm not really sure. Well, maybe I don't have to take that off, because that is just a jumper, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to leave that how it is, I think. I need to get this right here from my gauge up front. Needs to come out before I can roll this up top and start spinning things around. So let's get that wrench and see what size it is. This down here is a 1/2 inch compression fitting that holds the line for your gauges in your dash, if that's where your gauges are. Pull that off. Okay, we should be able to rotate this up a little farther, and this thing should just start to rotate around too. I'm not sure how. Okay, is that going to hit that other guy down there? Probably. Oh, maybe I need to rotate all of it. I can rotate that around, but that's not going to help me. Is there a place to put a wrench on here anywhere? Maybe get a big something on there. Let me go get a wrench, crescent wrench. Crescent wrench fits it. It's turning out down there too. That's fine. Let's just get this whole thing out of here, and we will start from scratch. We know how we got to do it. I got some air coming out of there. Hopefully I don't get busted in the face. Let me put my safety goggles on. got it. Now I basically need to build this. Now on this, I'm really not sure how they would suggest getting it out. We can obviously stick something down in there and turn. This one here, if you guys can see that, it's got a flat spot there where a wrench will slip on that. So what I did was I'm just going to put the wrench over the neck of this thing as much as I can there and turn it. I guess I should kind of just take everything apart and lay it all out still the way that it's supposed to be. How do you get that in there? Always taught, point your threads to the right. This is the open end, so the threads are pointing to the right, and wrap over. And you want to go around twice. A lot of times you'll end up getting leaks. You know, kind of rub it around there. And what you did by going by the threads pointing to the right and wrapping over, which that it's clockwise is actually what we're doing, is the way that it's going to screw in. It's going to lay that stuff nice and neat inside the threads, not shove it the other way and back it up. Okay, I got everything taped, and I think I've got it all laid back out. I got those two valves for the gauges and the airline just started, so I knew where they would go. One more thing before I get going is there's a big old arrow on the bottom that shows you which way the air is supposed to flow. I just feel like I'm going to damage the fittings. And I don't know about this stuff, but like with hydraulics, I know, man, you needed to have this crap tight. Because once it's in there, isn't the time. Oh, hope I didn't just... I did, look. Don't do it the way I was doing it, guys. All right, I've got all this back together, I believe, and I think I've got it laid out the way I want it. Looks way better than the original. It'd be nice to polish that stuff all up now, wouldn't it? Let's go back over to the trunk. First, I need to pull this guy out and Teflon tape that. It's kind of cool. Nope. Man. See, I ain't very good at planning. So basically at this point, I'm having to give in to the fact that the way it was laid out before is how it's going to have to be laid out again. Can you even see anything? There we go. All right, I got it to where I think it needs to be. We're about to see if this is going to hold some air. Put the fuse back in and fire it up. hopefully I got everything hooked in there right. We're gonna see what happens. It does look better though. On that side, everything looks a bit shinier, newer. I like it. Well, I'm pretty happy with the way that side turned out. The only thing left to do is pump it all the way up and pull it in the garage for this evening and see what it looks like in the morning. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day I'll have that shut-off valve, and we'll see if that doesn't make a difference in the way this thing operates also. I am waiting on my second tank of air now to try to get that front end all the way up. I am at 120 actually, which is pretty close. It should be able to pump a little more into there. But, I'm about one. Well, let's see what it'll do. Looks like 130 there. Back around so you can see. Backs are pretty much maxed out, I think, but 130. That ain't too bad. I still think I can get more lift out of it if I had more pressure in that tank. We shall see. As soon as they get the fittings in for the other side, whatever I need, I might rearrange some things or whatever. We'll move on to that side. But for now, at least you kind of seen how to plumb, I guess would be the word, for air ride. And hopefully that helps you out a little bit and you're not afraid to tackle it on your own. If it's your only means of transportation, then it's a whole new ball game, man. I got cars everywhere. I don't, if one of them breaks, I just grab something different. So it's no big deal for me to play around with some stuff. So keep that in mind before you go tearing into stuff, guys. As always, keep on trucking.